Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushai, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushai, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Chakdash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim to Zadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. I'm the priest Shaman. This week's topic is going to be entitled, This Gotta Be the End. Alright? Which we know we in the end times, pursuant to the book of Hebrews, that we have been in these last days since Yahweh Shai stepped foot on the earth. But we escalating towards the final chapter just because of just how much things are being revealed, right? Luke 12:2 tells us that there's nothing hid that shall not be made known. Now, recently you had this dude, Kanye West, and I had encouraged brothers to check out his interview on Fox. Well, now he got an interview on Drink Champs. The guy's been banned on Instagram, run by Mark Zuckerberg. Instagram is owned by Meta, formerly known as Facebook, which controls Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp. So he went to Twitter, right? Twitter banned him. Why? Because you can't speak about the so-called Jew. Everybody knows, not everybody knows, but some people to somewhat a degree knows that them so-called Jews have a hand in everything business, man. All right. And this dude, Kanye West, he went live on Drink Champs, a podcast hosted by Noriega, and I forgot the other dude. But it was live, which was smart, because if you just try to upload this thing, YouTube will, and the algorithms will see those names, hear names like Kushner and Clinton and blacks are the real Jews and stuff like that, and flag it. But the guy was, man, he's dropping so much information, so much dirt on them, because he went all the way up there. And we've said that time and time again, if this place was to continue to go on forever, the scripture says no flesh shall be saved. That's one. But also Jake would take over a lot of this shit, man. Jake's left-in societies and empires before rose predominantly up. Well, let's look at the prophet Daniel. He was third in line in Egypt. Third in line in Babylon, which technically, really, if you were living in Babylon, you would be like second in line. You would be like a vice president. The reason he was third in line is because the original person that was to be headed in Babylon, I believe his name was Nabonidus, he went away to his mother's country. There's a little historical context behind why Daniel was third in line, because the current king in Babylon was really second in line. He was really second in line, but he was acting as a vassal to his father, because his father went back, the son of Nimrod went back, and Belteshazzar was the grandson. So he was left on the throne. So when he said, you shall be third in line, he means you're right under me, as the current ruler in this place, Babylon. So Daniel was the equivalent of like a vice president, man, and look, you got Jake right now, a nigga woman is a vice president. So if you leave Israelites to their own devices, you can keep them down but for so long before the Lord eventually, just the skills, everything we have, we become predominant, and so Kanye West has now become a multi-billionaire. So he was in that circle. He got to know a lot of these people, the Trumps, the Kushners, the Clintons, all these families, all right, and he's spilling the beans on a lot of shit. He was bringing out the situation with why things have to be with Kushner, certain other people, and China. Just so much things was being put out there by this guy Kanye, that you like, damn, man, we gotta be in the end, because he's bugged out on certain things, but the guy's not you don't become a multi-billionaire by being a goddamn fool. You have to be somewhat intelligent, right? Networking with the right people, having a certain personality, all right? So, pursuant to the book of Romans, the 10th chapter, he has a zeal, all right? He has a zeal of the Lord. He's always talking about the Most High, God, and Jesus, and all that, but not according to knowledge. So there's certain things he still, in terms of information, he still greatly lacks. But the stuff that he does know is shining a light on these elites. And remember, the book of Psalms, the 64th chapter and the 8th verse tells us that they're going to cause their own tongues to fall upon themselves. So it seems, all right, and speaking as a man, all right, but there's certain scriptures to back it, that these, like, the scripture says that Satan's kingdom divided shall not stand. There is a division amongst these elites, man. All right, they're not in one unison in terms of who should lead or how they should go about the new world order. Some of them want to haste it and get this thing done. Let's chip them right now. Some of them will say, let's wait a few decades, and they're going back and forth. They show you that in movies like Blade. They show you that in series like Game of Thrones. Which house should rule Westeros. So it seems like they say, you know what? If we could leverage this dude Kanye to go against my enemy and that enemy, and spill the dirt on him, let's have him do it. However, Kanye, he's a complete renegade in the sense that he went in on so-called all Jewish people, so to speak, and then that Drink Champs interview podcast, bro, he was spilling the beans, man, so much. But again, you have to cipher things. In other words, what he was saying was like a steamed fish dinner. Steamed fish got fine bones, so you can't just chomp into it like you would drumsticks. So what he was saying has a lot of bones, a lot of fine bones in it that you got to throw out. But there is a lot of meat in there concerning what the hell is going on, man. So the fact that this stuff is being published on a regular platform, I'm sure YouTube eventually is going to take it off, because YouTube is also sometimes brothers call it JewTube. The so-called Jews run every damn thing, So eventually, we believe that. I don't know how long that's going to stay up. I don't know how long that interview is going to stay up. Me personally speaking, as a man, I think that's why they went live. But it was heavy, It was definitely heavy. He was bringing out the fact that nuclear family that's being destroyed, Planned Parenthood, all that, and the reason why they doing it, that they targeting black people, And when he said, "I'm gonna go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people," one of the Jewish people, the guy that owns the publishing of the White Lives Matter T-shirt, said, he stopped it. He said, "I'm not gonna release these White Lives Matter T-shirts. I want to take you to the Holocaust." Well, Kanye said, "Well, my Holocaust is still happening," with Plan B and all that. So he was going in. So this guy pretty much speaks his mind, And I don't think this is new, because years ago he said things like George Bush doesn't like black people. He would go on stage and said Beyonce needs to win this award. So the most I got a spirit on this guy, just, I don't know, just having this guy splurring out things, Everything is of the Lord, man. The Most High props a man up, put him in that particular position to use him to bring out this. Now, one thing Kanye said is, I want all my audience, all my fans, my Jewish fan, everything, to see why I'm mad. So that's going to cause people, because this guy has like a cult following, that's going to cause people to look up and research things, and that's heavy. That's heavy, So, look, the Most High. Oh, the Book of Joel. I will cause thy sons and daughters to prophesy, and the Lord will pour out His Spirit upon all flesh. So you're gonna have more John Todds. You're gonna have more Kanye West, and it seems like the Most High is gonna have people in higher and higher positions spill the beans, man. You know what I mean? So the Most High is controlling their tongue. Proverbs 16:1, the heart and the preparation and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. All right? So the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, is shining the light. First and foremost with the prophets, pursuant to the book of Amos, He revealeth His secrets to the servants of prophets, the book of Amos 3:7. And it's also mentioned in the book of Zechariah that I will put lamps, I'll put candlesticks in Jerusalem. Now, who's that? The candlesticks are the prophets. All right? We're the light in Jerusalem to light through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua, some of the apostles, elders on down. We're the light onto the nation of Israel, man. All right? So the candlesticks, that's how come we're able to go through different war events. Oh, the guy even mentioned what's going on over there in Russia and Ukraine. And he mentioned in that podcast that Biden has money in Ukraine. When I saw that, I was like, damn, like, that's some stuff you'd have to go to like third-party sources to get that sort of information, but he just brought it out, and it was live, so they couldn't have stopped it. And this guy also has celebrities up there that said, look, I'm willing to give you my Twitter account if you need it, if you need to say something. So he's sort of reached a point where he's quote unquote uncancelable. He's gonna always have some sort of outlet, some sort of network to out his voice. And this guy's the type of guy that he can release a goddamn jacket with bird shit on it and it'll sell millions of dollars, right? Because he just has that. He's like an artistic visionary, like a, you know what I mean, like a genius, visionary, artistic dude, you know, and people respect and admire him. So unless they take his ass out, which is possible, all right, but that would cause a great uproar. That would just pretty much immortalize him, and everybody would be clipping him. And you know how these devils do. Once they kill you, now you loved again. But if he dies with this message and the way he's pushing now, that's gonna even create more Kanye's and more people to rebel and more people to investigate the so-called Jews. So it'll be interesting to see how they deal with this particular situation, man. You know. But yeah, and he's a foreshadowing to a bit of what's going to happen to us when they make us even more infamous because they shut down this guy's different assets. You know, like the JP Morgan cut them off. I mentioned that in the last lesson. All right, if you might own crypto, you might own different assets. They could cut that shit the hell off. All right, and that's eventually going to come to all people. All right, once that RFID CHIP, which is the MOTB, becomes mandatory. You know, and speaking against it is going to put you in the penalty of death. So these are some of the times we're coming in, if not already in, and we have to fortify our mind and be prepared for these things, man. Prepared to lose everything. The Most High is going to push us to the brink, man. All right, that's why the scripture says the righteous shall seriously be saved. All right, and the scripture speak about the hour of temptation. All right, which proves that it is a choice, because you have certain people saying, you know, what are they forcing upon you and this, that, and the third, and hold you down and stab you. And no, it's not going to go that way. It's going to have to be a choice. All right? It's going to have to be a choice. And once you make that choice, there's no repenting or getting on the chariots after you've made that choice. You're going to have to burn, die, and come back in the kingdom. You know? So we're in very interesting times, man. We're in very interesting times. Baruch to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua for putting us in the truth at this time, at the latter end of this thing. I mean, at the end of the day, really, we didn't really wait that long. The Most High really expedited that process, if you think about it. You know, I'm talking about the brothers that came in from the 07 era onward. It wasn't really that long of a wait before the Most High just turned shit up so quickly, man. You know, we often say, man, it feels like we've been here forever. Because, you know, Babylon is a hellhole. So every second it's like, damn, Lord, hurry the fuck up. But relatively speaking, in terms of the Most High and His time and operate, damn, this thing escalated in a nanosecond from 2007 to now, from when the apostles at YouTube to now. So much shit that then went down, so much secrets that being revealed. It's like, damn, the Lord really ain't even play. It's not even been 20 years. So it's like, the Most High really just got the ball rolling, man. You know? Alright, so with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushua, B'Shem Chakodash. That belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there. You Akim to Zadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Shalom.